Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Ghost Warrior 38, and today I'm going to be looking at a new comic from X53 Studios, an indie publisher, The Vindicators. I got this in the mail yesterday, so I thought I'd give you guys a little look of it. X53 is an indie publisher, so it shows out there that there are people that make comic books outside of just the big two. The Vindicators, for those that probably don't know, it is a sci-fi horror western comic who deals with a one-armed cybernetic Civil War veteran named Decker teamed up with the vampire Alicia Brown as they bring law to the West. Um, It is part of a connected universe. It's their first work started with Arachna and Arachna Volume 2. And then after that, they did Ghost Hawk and Falconet, which is the book here. This is about a married couple who also work as superheroes. And then the book I'll be looking at today is The Vindicators. You're probably asking yourself, why do you have two copies of The Vindicators? Well, as I found out probably when I funded and I helped back the project, because this is the cover that I supported. I got these four here as the X53 Studios starter pack, which contained the first two volumes of Arachna, Ghost Hawk and Falconet, and The Vindicators #1. And then supporting the project, I got the one I ordered, as well as it being fully funded, a second copy of Book 1. That explains that. But taking the rest of these out of the way, today I will be giving you a review of Vindicators. And we're back, folks. I had to move everything off to the side and get this open for you. This is the full cover here. This is our protagonist Decker and Alicia Brown, the vampire. As I noted, he has one arm here. So his one arm here is a cybernetic prosthetic, and same thing with his eye. He was a veteran of the Civil War. The story makes note of that. And he lost his arm and his eye in battle. I will admit first, this title, as well as the other X53 books, do contain scenes of sex, nudity, and violence. So this is a mature reader's title. This is not something you want to be showing or giving to your kids. This is just the back for their new project, the Amada, coming at YA in 2024. Okay. But yeah, just have to have that little disclaimer there, because there are a few panels in here that are scenes of nudity. So please don't flag my book YouTube. Anyway, this is the first panel here. 1865 Arizona. Starts with our protagonist Decker running for his life. Later he finds out he's being chased by a posse. Cover printing here 75. So 75 of these were only ever made of this cover, were versus the 125 that were made of the primary. Like I said, Decker is being chased by a bunch of gunfighters. He's carrying the coffin, so of course you guys can guess who's in there, if it's not obvious by the cover and what I told you. You got the drop on me, bushwhackers, but this gun shark bites back. Goddamn dry gulchers. Get the coffins where the son of a bitch stashed his riches. You ain't wrong there, partner. And then, of course, they find out why. He has the coffin. It's Alicia. Shuffled off this mortal coil she has. But she don't need any gold chompers. Then she won't need any gold chompers. I wouldn't do that if I were you. And she bites the man's finger off. Breakfast. Basically, he just woke her up. And Alicia immediately goes to town on killing these guys. Yeah. She basically has her fun. She basically has fun and is very much hungry. I do declare your friend was a tasty morsel, and what of you, sir? It's like, still hungry. So yeah, I admire what these guys are doing with these books. But yeah, they go into town. So yeah, they have a bit of dialogue going back and forth. It's fun. He still doesn't like her, but it's like they work together. Goes to a saloon. So of course you'll know there's the dancing girls. There's some nudity. Covering up the obvious parts. But yeah, you guys basically get the picture. So I was like, yeah, it's fun. She goes to town to see this guy here. There's someone here she wants to see at a store. She wants to go see. He's a loyal war veteran who's not much of a conversationalist, but is a great bodyguard. It's like basically hands off, pal. You can look but don't touch. She ain't not having that. And there are some scenes with sex going on. Don't know what the fuck he's doing here. I don't know what his understanding here is, because if either he was fantasizing having sex with Alice, or if something did actually happen between them, and he's just thinking about it later and actually going with her. I don't know. I've read this book at least once already with the main cover, and it doesn't make any sense. Okay, I guess never mind. I guess they must have had been intimate at one point. And then, like I said, how he lost his arm in the Civil War, Miller's Cornfield of 1862, the Battle of Antietam. That's Decker. The Civil War. There's a lot of fighting going on. And Alicia shows up. And it's revealed that she's the one who took his arm, his eye. Oh, crap, I did not know that. And apparently both of his legs. Yikes. So yeah, she's the reason he got turned into the way that he is. It's like, it's alright, Mr. Decker, you're having a nightmare. And she's like, who's Alice? He's like, she's the death of me. Dwarves, golems, now vampires, were like sideshows in P.T. Barnum's menagerie of monsters and freaks. Apologies for the treatment, lady. I'm bothered with you. Darling, because if you do, you'll get another dose of solar light. This time it'll burn you to ash. Now enjoy the latest picture. It's like, you don't have to leave. So now Decker gets around to finally figuring out what's going on. No. We need someone like you to lure in the right kind of folks. So why are you telling me all this? You're different. You might be our own ticket out of here. You feel that? I can't say that I do, darling. Not with this mechanical hand, but I get you. Now get dressed, Goldie. My partner hasn't reported back yet. Boss made me. He saved my life, and I can't betray my friend. I want you to promise me something. I don't make promises. Promise me you won't kill anyone. Why? These folks aren't themselves. They've been brainwashed. We're following orders like I did in the war. We don't matter whether it's voluntary or by force. I'm a killer. That's plain and simple, miss. We went to war carrying a flag and a great deal, and I lost plenty because of it. You think because you spread your legs, I owe you something? Well, I don't owe you a damn thing. Same goes for Alice. Got a silver bullet for her if she ever forgets. Same goes for you, too. So, yeah, we can really much establish this guy is not the archetypal protagonist or hero character. He is essentially what would be morally gray. He does good things, and then he also does plenty of bad as well. He apparently found out the cameras were the ones that were causing his inventions that were brainwashing the people, and he shot the camera, and he gets the girl out of there. She's being real sexual and real weird. And he's basically telling them to go to hell. He's not going to conform to what they're doing. They tried to go after Goldie, and then they start messing with her. They cut her long hair, so she's probably going to have shorter hair after the end of this. He gives him the rocket punch, so his hand pops off. Decker. Okay, nope, they only cut off a little bit of her hair, I guess. They only cut off like a little bit on the back. Or a little bit in the front. Okay, so they almost did it. Goddamn, you're one ugly man. Looks like you lost your arms in the war, just like me. We'll get ready to lose them again, pal. Even maybe more, because this war is over. So he was a former veteran just like him, except this guy, you'll find out later, is more machine than man. So think like the reverse of RoboCop. And I think Goldie's just dead. Donnybrook outside. No doubt that golem I failed to seduce. Was he too stupid or too loyal? Maybe there's no difference. Well, I'll be darned. Little critters have finally arrived. Listen up, y'all. I'm in a bit of a fix here, and I need your help. We got a jailbreak to plan. I don't know, I guess the implication was during the video she was supposed to be British. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, as you can see, there's more cybernetics to him than man. As he takes off one of his arms with his cybernetic hand, there reveals to be the metal part where the arm was attached to his body. They fight. He's like, well done, Mr. Decker. Daniel DeGraw and Madame de Bosch at your service. I hope our disagreement doesn't mean you'll be leaving us. Let's let cooler heads prevail, folks. And he's basically invented a freeze ray, so it's like a mini Mr. Freeze. Thank you, my friends. You got some nice toys to grow. Shame I have to break them. My head broke you. It's like, damn. War over. Right on, honey. Well, I'll be damned. Didn't recommend that contraption might have a backlash mode. That's interesting. He's like, nope, I'm getting out of here. I ain't getting frozen too. vantage point on top of the saloon. Now Deckard gets hit with whatever happened to them. That golem's down. Such lamentable loss of a robust thrall potential, I must say. It does seem that our valiant Mr. Decker has seized the advantage over de Graw. It's high time I partake in this little soiree, I reckon. Because, yeah, she's basically been out of action this entire time and locked up or tied up. Pray caution, Mr. Decker. This diminutive fellow is a sly and cunning creature. And then he stabs her. He's like, Flint, why? She doesn't know that he's been taken. Nicely done, Mr. Decker. Despite your limited exposure to the film, the trigger word hidden in it worked after all. I used it on him as a desperate last resort just before you arrived, Miss Brown. The word of the day is hardback. Finish her off, Decker. Oh my, that was quite unpleasant. Thank goodness for your poor aim. You missed my heart. Finish her. Yes, master. Flint, do resist the influence. I have the utmost faith in your strength, dear fellow. You're a man of fortitude and no one's pawn. Very well, I did make an attempt to be polite, but it appears we'll have to proceed with a more vigorous approach. And then basically all the bats swarm on him and bite him. At least that's what I'm assuming, and basically attack him. Because she calls the bats. And that ultimately snaps him out of it. Oh dear me, from your raucous cries, it seems like you've experienced quite a bit of discomfort, Flint. However, it's necessary agony to break the shackles of that brainwashing. As much as it pains me to admit it, I'm outmatched and outnumbered. This is quite a temporary setback, Mr. Decker and Miss Brown. But rest assured, when we meet again, I'll be more than prepared for you. That shall suffice, my dears. And basically they've done feeding on him and got him back to make sense. Flint, have you returned to your rugged yet tender self, or do you still harbor murderous intentions towards me? Okay, lady. It's like, I'm back, lady. Sorry, Miss Brown, I'm sorry, Miss Brown. I'm plumb sorry about stabbing you. I reckon I oughta trust ya heap more and tote less silver on my person. It's like, oh, don't worry, Mr. Decker, I do forgive you. It's not every day you get to stab a vampire, after all, and I must admit, those vampire bats were a bit excessive, but I had to snap you out of it somehow. So she's like, it's alright, we're cool. Yes, you may have stabbed me, and, I had them bite you, but we're good. And then he blows up his business, so they're not gonna bother them anymore. You reckon that lowdown is still around these parts? I don't rightly know, Alice, but something tells me we ain't seen the last of him. We might still be able to catch him. And then basically this girl, Goldie, who works as one of the dancing girls, is still into him. And he's like... Basically, it looks like Alice is jealous. Because, I guess she wants to be with him, so there's a little bit of, like, unrequited love there. Or maybe she feels bad, because just a look on her face, and she's like, okay, take your time. Many hours later. You ain't half bad for a vampire. Why, thank you. You ain't half bad for a human. Damn right. I'm glad your vampiric mojo snapped him out of the town, Miss Brown. I'll take that as a compliment, Mr. Decker. Shall we investigate de Graw's assertions about this intriguing cabal we apparently find ourselves in service to? I never crossed paths with them high-flaunting bigwigs upstairs, but it's sown some unease in my stomach. Still, no whining about it. Let's ride and meet our bosses. And what a very interesting group we have at the very end, ladies and gentlemen. So I feel like they will be involved in the next volume in the Vindicators when they get around to making the project, because this is who they got with in this book. Dr. Jack Griffin, aka the Invisible Man, Elizabeth Frankenstein, I'm assuming, or the Bride of Frankenstein, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, I guess they couldn't get the rights to him because with Universal, but this is their stand-in for Dracula, Count Orlok, from the Nosferatu silent film, and The Wolfman, Chance Dalton. Instead of it being, I don't know what reference this one is, but it's supposed to be Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, and The Wolfman. So eventually they had to take some workarounds, but this is basically Universal Monsters. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. And this is another one of their variant covers that they had artwork for. And that's really the end of the book. So I hope you guys like this little look-see or through it. I, of course, highly recommend you read it for yourselves. And to stay up to date on other content that I got for you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and to click that bell notification. And until then, I will see you guys next time with another video. Take care, have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, and peace.